Who needs to go to the movies when you got the movies at home?
Welcome, the Gamer Man's Lounge. Awaken to play.
Today, I was bored out my ass. Well, by the time I'm recording this, I got bored out my ass, so I watched 2 movies in a row. Besides, I got them on sale on Blu-ray for $5 each. Around $5 each. Okay, one was $5.50 each, and the other was just $5. And surprisingly so, they happen to be DVD, Blu-ray, and digital copy, which is great. I love backup options. Okay, so what's going to end up happening here is that I'm just going to show the box art, and as I go into details, you're probably going to see me talking, or we could segue over the gameplay, turning it into like a commentary mode. Nah, I'm just kidding. I would love to do that in commentary mode, but a lot of people get nitpicky over that, but whatever. Actually, let's just go with it. Now, here's what's going on. Now, first, I already said what I was going to do, so let's just keep on going, jump right into it, and let's go review some movies. Hereditary centers around a family that had to deal with a death in the family. Of course, apparently it was one of the grandparents. It was just made obvious at the beginning, but then you begin to hear some mysterious details from left and right, and now you're kind of like, it's going from, okay, family deals with loss in the family, into a supernatural tale where the family's going to have to unravel, solve the mystery, and figure things out before it's too late. Followed by fucking around and finding out. Now, I have heard recently about how Hereditary has been ranked the most stressful movies. One of the most stressful movies to watch. And I could totally see where they're coming from. Alright? This is the second time I've seen this movie. Actually, the second time since back in 2018 when I watched the movie when I had to go to somebody else's apartment for the New Year's. My goodness. But there was that one moment. Again, I'm going to go vague to avoid spoilers. Let's just say it involves a road. That's just it. And there was some weird details to start noticing. It was just, what? I'm reminiscing back to one of the beginning scenes, and boy, okay. Yeah, there was some very unsettling hints. Very weird hints, something that seemed to be very off-putting, and then by the time things more and more unravel, boy, oh boy, that's all I gotta say. But yeah, I just ended up reminiscing the early scenes of the film. But my goodness, I can see where people are coming from. This is a damn good, spooky, scary film, okay? And really, to be honest with you here, that was just something that kind of put me on the toes, and I was like, okay. I watched it again, and I was like, okay, here we go. And, of course, upon watching the film for a second time and keeping my eye out for hints and watching the scenes that I missed out on, it was like, holy shit. And that was all I gotta say. And, yeah, let's just say the film can get pretty brutal. And it will be very, very brutal. And that totally said, the ending scene, again, the ending scene was just, oh boy. But I do love how Ari Aster likes to have his, ending shots. I've seemed to notice that when it came to his previous movies, The Witch. Again, I've also seen Midsommar, but yeah. But it's going to be a supernatural thriller when it pretty much involves death in the family, and There seems to be something unsettling. There seems to be some hints about it that leads into something very concerning. And as soon as more and more unravel, as soon as some weird, strange things start happening in the movies, and there is some weird behaviors from one of the family members, yeah, that's that one scene I reminisced. All throughout, it is just a weird, it's a weird out of nowhere experience, but holy crap, it goes hard. It goes brutal, and it does go hard, and it was like, whoo! Again, the acting is good, the cinematography is fantastic, definitely would say about that. The spooky, scary scenes were just very wild, they were just very unsettling. It was like, whoa. And then there's the music direction. Oh my goodness, the music direction. Like, the composer really went all out. That's all I gotta say. The soundtrack for Hereditary, my goodness. I remember one of the songs in the OST end up getting used for like a meme. So yeah. But again, I'm trying to do what I can because I want to be vague, very vague, to avoid spoilers, okay? Bear with me. If you haven't seen the film before, I would go ahead and watch it. As a matter of fact, Hereditary is a film that I would recommend watching. As a matter of fact, as a person who's seen this film twice, I would be expecting to see others' reactions to the movies. Movie? Oh, right, I'm reviewing more than one. But I would like to see someone's reaction to the movie. And I was like, okay, you know what? Why not? Sounds like a perfect sounds wonderful. It's going to be interesting watching somebody else's reaction. That would be kind of interesting. But yeah, Hereditary is going to be a film that will hit you from out of nowhere. Okay. It's going to be some very interesting things. I'll go with that. But I gotta love the music. I gotta like the music orchestrated in the film. It was just fitting. It went all out, and it was just. It just, when the music gets played out, it just really hits. That's all I gotta say. But with that totally said, Hereditary, I'm damn well impressed, and I'm still damn well impressed to this day. And yeah, all I gotta say here is Hereditary is an impressive watch. As a matter of fact, it is the most recommended movie that I would definitely go ahead and watch. And with that totally said, it's a very intense movie. I'm gonna let you know, it's an intense, brutal movie. Alright? Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to do out of 5 stars, but I will go ahead. It is definitely recommended. You'll have a good time, and you'll be shocked and appalled. We'll go with that. Now let's move right on going to the next movie. Midsommar is about a couple that ends up tagging along with the boyfriend's friends when traveling over to Sweden to go into a festival. A village for some festival. And there begins to be some very interesting things. And this is after the girlfriend had to deal with an incident. Okay, we'll definitely go ahead and just... If you've seen Hereditary, or let's say the beginning of Hereditary, if you know the beginning of Hereditary, you'll definitely know how the film starts out. But I like how the film starts with the... I'll get into more about it. But this is about a couple or the boyfriend invites the girlfriend to tag along with his friends to Sweden to basically just go to a unique village and for some unique festival that one of the boyfriend's friends happened to tell him about. Apparently, something doesn't seem right, and it's a matter of figuring things out before it's too late. Yeah, Midsummer. It is a very interesting... I like Hereditary better, okay? But the pacing... I kind of thought the pacing was not my cup of tea, but then again, I was like, okay, I keep forgetting about stuff that was happening. I also like how the beginning of the film... I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm just going to go vague, but I end up laughing at the beginning because of a reason, and it was just... Okay, it starts off with some very nice singing, and that's all I'm about to go. But, however, for the scenes, there are some... Now, it can go brutal. It is pretty much brutal. But there is some weird, creepy vibes that comes from the festival that the couple attends, alongside the friends too. And, yeah. Things get really interesting. Also, you're going to want to keep an eye out for some art. The cinematography is great, and the art is very interesting, too. As a matter of fact, the art kind of drops some hints from left and right, and has some hidden lore, and does a lot of exposing, especially one of the art pieces. It is very, very interesting. And also, you begin to figure out what on earth is going on, what on earth is going on with this village, what on earth is being planned, and then from beginning to end, it's just everything just comes together. Things really just come together. And you kind of... Okay, there is some stuff where you're going to find obvious, absolutely obvious, but it's the vague, unsettling hints that gets dropped throughout the movie. And of course, there is some weird... There's also another thing to keep in mind about, there is the weird hallucination scenes. Oh boy. It does get very, very trippy at that point. And it was just... Now, there was a terrible idea done by 2 characters. They would have just... If they did the other thing rather than did what they did, they would have got off the hook. But then again, what happened was going to be inevitable. But holy crap, it does go hard. Alright, as soon as you discover... However, throughout the entirety of the film, upon going through the scenes, even when it doesn't do, like, the crazy stuff, it just feels unsettling. It just feels like... It kind of puts you on the edge. It kind of puts, like... something's off. Something seems a little bit weird and off. Okay, there's something weird about that weird art piece on the... Okay. It just seems... Something didn't seem right. And there was a suspicious character in the movie, and it's like, something didn't seem right at all. Again, the village was absolutely suspicious because obvious reasons, but I do want to go ahead and say... It really did a good job at, like, really kind of, like, making... It's just really unsettling. And especially there's the hints that gets dropped, and I was like, okay, something doesn't seem right. And you see some weird... I like the visuals, okay? The visuals of Hereditary is great, and so are the visuals in Midsummer. I am very well impressed with the cinematography. I'm very well impressed with the design direction for the buildings when it comes to Midsommar. Okay? Midsommar is beautiful to look at. It is some wonderful eye candy from left to right. Alright, looking at specific buildings. And, yeah. It's a very interesting film. A very, very interesting film. Anyway, Midsommar is also it's also a good movie. However, you're going to want to be... Some people are going to be impatient with the movie. Now, don't get me wrong. The film does have its moments where it just... Okay, we're doing this at the beginning. Here we go. And, yeah. However, the movie, all throughout, I like Hereditary more, but Midsommar is still a good film. It is still a great film that's worth watching. I'd recommend it as well, but I recommend Hereditary more. I liked Hereditary better. And that's the thing. Okay. Now, Midsommar is kind of like, okay, there's some weird festival stuff. There's some crazy stuff that's hiding in plain sight from left and right. Don't get me wrong, Hereditary does have the same thing too, but Midsommar just wants to most of the time take a different approach, and that's something absolutely respectable. But again, Midsommar is good for what it was trying to be. It's still a recommended film, but I ended up liking Hereditary better because of how crazy things go down. Again, I'm not saying that Midsommar's a bad movie. I'm not saying that Midsommar wasn't my cup of tea. Because as a matter of fact, I liked Midsommar. It's just that the thing here is that I liked Hereditary way more. Because it did a whole lot of, in my opinion, it did a whole lot of record breakers for me. When it came to, not Midsommar, Hereditary. Now, out of all the two movies, I got them both on sale for $5 each. Best $5 I spend. And I also like the idea of backup options, because Blu-ray, DVD, digital. Alright, Blu-ray, DVD, digital. I like that. And $5 each, not bad. Damn well impressed. But I find it kind of weird how there's the 4K Blue, or the 4K HD, or the 4K Ultra HD version barely gets a discount for some weird reason. It doesn't really get as much as a good discount as the two films, but hey, it is the way that it is. It's not like everybody's ready for 4K. We could sit around here and say, hey, we're ready. No, we're not. Okay? We're not getting constant 60 frames throughout, whether it's video games, and especially camcorder recording gear. Okay? We're just not there yet. But if you want 4K, then you're going to want to I'd say get a 3090 or a 3080 Ti. Okay, I know I'm talking about video games rather than movies, but yeah, you're probably going to see me most of the time being on. You're going to most of the time see me being on 1080p. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to give 1440p a try, but that's video games and not movies. But, hey, it is what it is. We're still a long ways to go for 4K, anyway. So, now, out of those two movies, I recommend both of them. However, my go-to movie the most is going to be Hereditary. That's all I gotta say. Hereditary just does a whole lot of things. It's just a record breaker for me, like I said. But yeah, that kind of... Yeah, those two films are very interesting films. They're good films. They're definitely worth watching. I like that. And I gotta like it. Anyway, with that totally said, that is going to be all for my movie reviews. Actually, I would like to, later down the line, get a hold of movies to watch. Yeah, that actually sounds like an entertaining idea. At random times, just go and just watch movie reviews from left and right. And just kind of talk about movies and review movies and go about doing that. I'm not going to expect this to do it frequently, more frequently, but I would see that be rare. Just like my cooking videos. Right now. Interesting. Anyway, that is all, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out. This is a video product made by a fellow gamer man. We hope that you enjoy the content, and we also hope that you enjoyed the shenanigans. We'll be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out. Heyo!